David, thank you very much for being here in Chania. A couple of questions. The first one, history brought us together. Will the economy tear us apart?
History brought us together as Europeans. I think we are inextricably linked with each other. I don't think there is any longer any choice between the national and the European. I think the European is here to stay. I think it is extremely important to recognise that if we have no Europe, then that is bad for our nation states too. The way we protect our nation states is through Europe. The way we protect our diversity is through Europe. There are much bigger forces that will create a homogenisation of the European continent than the European Union. The European Union, for me, is very strongly, very importantly, something which is to protect our differences and to maintain our differences and to give us the ability to live together as Europeans and as Greek people, as British people, as Dutch people, as German people, and to share our sovereignties together. Together, I firmly believe we are much stronger collectively than we are individually, though it's often going to be uncomfortable in parts of Europe to accept that reality. I think the fact of the matter is that our unity is far better than our disunity.
Thank you very, very much. And the second question, which is quite more specific, it relates to lobbying, something that you are probably one of the experts in Europe. So, to what extent would you say that the crisis has generated some change in how lobbying takes place at the EU level in Brussels? And if there are any changes, are these changes primarily semantic or are there some substantive implications as a result of the crisis?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question, which I don't think I have ever been asked before. And I think the truthful answer is that there isn't any great difference today in the conduct of public affairs from the way it used to be done before the crisis. However, one thing that has changed, which is not because of the crisis, but is because I think of the increasing role of European institutions and the increasing extent to which European law and policy impacts citizens and businesses and organisations. One of the things that is different is the much greater emphasis on transparency. And as somebody who is involved in lobbying and public affairs professionally, I think transparency is an extremely good thing and an important thing. There's nothing wrong with lobbying unless it's done secretly. So long as lobbying is done professionally, openly and transparently, then it is almost the normal conduct of democratic politics. The only, once you get transparency out of the way, the main outstanding problem is that lobbying is about wealth buying influence. But frankly, all organisations have power, not always dependent on wealth. Smaller NGOs have as much power as big chemical companies because people trust them, not because they have wealth and resources. So different organisations have got different capabilities based on different resources. So once you've sorted the transparency problem, I'm fairly comfortable that good public affairs is possible and is not something which is necessarily something which is bad.
Thank you very, very much.